Hello and welcome back to Algebra 1, Lesson 7-3, Fractional Coefficients. Hey, today we're going to be doing some problems using our least common denominator. And these problems are going to be worked in the same way, in the same fashion, which will make it quite easy to solve. Okay? Probably the hardest part we're going to have is to calculate the least common denominator, but by this time I'm sure that we're all very good at doing such a thing. Let's look at our first example. Okay, our first example says x over 7 plus x over 3, okay, equals 10. Yes, these are fractions. They have coefficients in them, and they look kind of hairy, and one would think to themselves, how can we do such a problem? But if we think about using our least common denominator, it becomes quite simple. We look at the bottom here, 7 and 3, and we find out that our least common denominator for these two guys is going to be 21. Now to solve this problem, we're going to get rid of these denominators. And by doing that, we're going to multiply each one of our terms by 21. Which is our least common denominator. And then we're going to solve. As you can see, 7 goes into 21 3 times, so instead of writing 21 over 7, we're going to change its name to 3 over x. The same thing here. 3 goes into 21 7 times, so its name is going to be 7x. And 21 times 10 is 210. When we add these like terms together, we get 10x equals 210. We divide by 10, and we get x equals 21. Okay, by using the least common denominator, we are able to get rid of the denominators, the fractions, and just deal with a regular equation, which looks more familiar to us. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, let's look at one that's just a little bit different. Okay. We have a 3a over 5, and minus a over 2, okay, equals 1 over 20. Okay, so in this case, let's just pretend we couldn't figure out what the heck our least common denominator is. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get the prime factorization. Okay, the prime factorization of this guy is 5 times 1, 2 times 1, and this guy's going to be 2 times 2 times 5. Now we look, and we have a 5 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here. We take the most number of our 2's, which is going to be 2 to the second power, okay, and we multiply it by, we have at least one 5, so in this case, we're going to have 4 times 5, our least common denominator is 20. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to multiply every single one of my terms by 20. Okay, 3a over 5 minus, okay, 20 times a over 2 equals 20 times 1 over 20. Okay, 5 can go into 24 times, so 4 times 3, we're going to get a 12a here. Okay, and 2 can go into 10 times, so we get a 10a here. And over here, 20 goes into 21, so it's going to be 1 over 1. 1 over 1 over 1 is actually 1. So this is our equation. Now this looks like something we figured out before. So 12a minus 10a, I'm going to get a 2a. 2a equals 1. When I divide by 2, I'm going to find out what a is, and a will equal 1/2. Okay, so that's the answer. All right, let's look at another one. Let's look at what did we do with our erasers here? Oh, thanks. Don't throw it. I might not catch it. Oh, okay, I caught it. All right, let's look at another one. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to use our least common denominator. Okay. Okay, this is working great. Okay, let's look at this one. All right, the next one says this. It's going to be x over 3, okay, minus x plus 2 over 5 equals 2. Okay, that's one. And the last one that we're going to look at is this one. It's going to be 2n plus n over 3. Uh-oh. Well, let's work on this one first. All right, if we look at this one, our least common denominator of 3 and 5 will be what? 15. Oh, we're not doing so good here. Okay, our least common denominator will be 15. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 15 by each of these numbers. Okay, that will all get by 15, and we'll multiply 15 here. Okay, so this would be 5x. This will turn into 5x. Okay, and this over here, it'll be minus, and then it'll be 3 times x plus 2. You see, we cleared our denominators. We're doing really good. And over here will be 15 times 2 is 30. Okay? 5x minus 3x minus 6 equals 30. Okay? This will be 2x. We're going to bring that 6 over. And we're going to get 36. Divide both sides by 2. And we get x equals 18. Okay? Now, I'm not too sure whether or not we're going to be able to do another problem. So we're going to call it a day for here. And just remember, when you have equations with fractional coefficients, figure out what the least common denominator is and multiply every single term by that. Now, a lot of times, students, especially when they first start, they'll go ahead and multiply 15 times this term and this term, and they'll forget to multiply the 15 over here. So you've got to make sure that each one of these guys gets multiplied by your least common denominator. And that's lesson 7.3, equations with fractional coefficients.